Now, we're about to hit 1 year since Sami Zayn challenged the Tribal Chief in Montreal at last year's Elimination Chamber pay-per-view for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship in a losing effort, of course, in a match that many fans, many people on social media in the IWC believe that Sami Zayn should have won that match and gotten that big, tremendous pop, and for lack of a better term, finished his story with the bloodline back then. Now, back then, there were quite a few factors going into the fact that, well, Sami Zayn wasn't supposed to walk out with the title regardless of the huge amount of support he had during that night. But now, fast forward a year later, and ever since Sami Zayn lost to Roman Reigns in that match, there has been very, very little victories, very, very little triumphs in Sami Zayn's career. Pretty much only one, which is his victory during the main event of WrestleMania Night 1 alongside Kevin Owens against the Usos. They become the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships. That doesn't last too long because they then lose those tag titles to the Judgment Day, who are still your champs. But over the past few weeks, and ever since Sami Zayn has made his return from quote-unquote injury, from being taken out by the Scottish psychopath Drew McIntyre, WWE has been producing and making these video packages. Well, not video packages. They're more interviews between Sami Zayn and a WWE correspondent. In this case, Miss Jackie Redmond, I believe her last name is. And then last night on Monday Night Raw, an assist by Drew McIntyre, yes, but once again, Sami Zayn is on a losing effort, this time against Shinsuke Nakamura. And he's been losing to Drew McIntyre multiple times. He's had one World Championship match, a very good World Championship match, by the way, but he lost that to Seth frickin' Rollins this past Friday night. He lost in a qualifying match to Randy Orton, I believe, in the hopes of qualifying for the chamber that might get him a shot at the world title at WrestleMania. Sami Zayn's path, his road to WrestleMania, is very, very unclear. Now, we have no idea what he's doing at WrestleMania. We have no idea who he's facing at WrestleMania. A lot of people might say Drew McIntyre, but there's the same amount of people that say that Drew McIntyre is going to be the one to win the chamber and challenge Rollins at WrestleMania itself. We'll just have to wait and see on that. But what's the game plan for WWE going forward with Mr. Sami Zayn? Because they've made it a point to call him on TV, or for Sami Zayn to call himself a contender. They've made it a point for him to catalog himself as a world championship caliber athlete, and he just hasn't lived up to those expectations of himself. He's fallen short each and every single time. Now, I'm not saying the exact same thing that's happened with Drew McIntyre is going to happen with Sami Zayn. Absolutely not. But this losing streak by Sami Zayn has to lead somewhere. It has to. And a lot of people are talking about how Sami Zayn is going to end up winning the Money in the Bank briefcase, and he's going to cash it in and become a world champion by summer. And I have a similar idea. It doesn't involve the Money in the Bank briefcase. I don't think it fits his character. Could he go the RVD route in 2006? Of course. But I would much rather have him win the King of the Ring tournament later in the year, let's say June, let's say July, and he gets his one-on-one shot at the World Championship at SummerSlam. I think that's the path, that's the road, that's the blueprint that they had with Daniel Bryan in 2013. A man that they did not want for him to be the main event player, for him to be the main event of WrestleMania that very same year. I think the exact same thing is happening with Sami Zayn. He's not a main eventer in terms of big box office value, but he's the ultimate underdog as of right now on Monday Night Raw. And if you have him win King of the Ring, he proves himself. He gets out of that losing streak, which, by the way, is going to continue till we get to King of the Ring, which, again, it's going to be quite painful to watch because Sami Zayn is just that damn good in the ring. We want to see him win. But I think that is the best way to put him over. I think that's the best way to get the World Championship on him. And then, even furthermore, whoever wins the Money in the Bank briefcase cashes it in on Sami Zayn, and that builds even more sympathy for your up-and-coming underdog babyface in Sami Zayn, of course. But again, those are just my thoughts. As far as WrestleMania is concerned, he should be a part of the show. I don't know what's going to happen. If you ask me, it should be Zayn versus McIntyre at WrestleMania at this moment in time. I do not want McIntyre challenging for the world title at WrestleMania for a third time in less than a year. I love Drew McIntyre's work so far, but let's give it to somebody else. That's just my opinion. But hey, I'm not booking. I'm not the one handling creative for WWE. But as far as Sami Zayn's road to WrestleMania, as far as Sami Zayn's road to redemption in the very near future, I think SummerSlam, I think he's going to get the 2013 Daniel Bryan treatment. SummerSlam later this year is going to be his time to win that World Championship once and for all. And finally, cement himself as a true main eventer. So with that said, what are your thoughts? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Are you expecting Sami Zayn to become a world champion anytime soon? Are you expecting him to win the Money in the Bank briefcase? Which, again, it's a lot more likely than WWE bringing back the King of the Ring tournament. Which, again, that's just an old school idea I have from Brock Lesnar back in 2002. I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff against the wall. Hope it sticks. But again, at some point during this year, Sami Zayn is going to have to become world champion. At least that's what I'm assuming from all these packages and interviews that they're giving us with Sami Zayn. With that said, leave your thoughts, comments, and predictions in the comment section below. Tune in later on tonight to the USA Network for another episode of NXT. My name is Alexis Carrillo. This has been Wrestling Talk, and I'll see you next time.